we are going to go ahead and get into our Pac-12 Power Rankings because a lot transpired in Week 2 in the Pac-12, whether it be SC or Utah or Washington. Sean, so I do want to start with your Pac-12 Power Rankings and just kind of how it's shifted over the last couple weeks.
I mean, this is my first official one on the show, so I didn't have a movement. But first off, as you'll see, the picture here is of Cal's quarterback. I just got to give, they're still 11th. I considered putting them higher, but I got to give some love to Cal, going to Auburn, competing with an SEC school. They're not the absolute poverty program joke that they were last year. I think they've taken a significant step up towards being a little respectable. So still 11th, but I want to give them their flowers there. For me, the biggest thing here is Utah. I do not know what to make of that team.
That's fair.
2 close games against teams that they should be significantly better than, but they've won them. And I got to give them respect for everything that they've done. Did Cam Rising play last week? He's still out, right?
Yeah, he's still out.
Yeah, so there's that. Like, I think they're going to be significantly better when Cam Rising comes back. So the Utah one is interesting, but man, this is different than last year's. Last year, I feel like it was always like, where do you put USC and Utah 1-2, and then you kind of had like 2 or 3 teams, and then there was just a clusterfuck in the middle of just mediocrity. There's a lot of good teams in this conference. I think when you look at those top 4, whether it's or really 2 through 4, I guess, Washington, Oregon State, kind of interchangeable to me. And I feel the same way about 6 and 7 with Colorado and Wazoo. I think those are 2 comparable teams. And then obviously a UCLA at 8, Arizona at 9, Arizona State at 10. Arizona and Arizona State, I just don't know what to make of yet. They are, I think, both more talented than their 1-1 records, but they have clear problems. And if Jaden Rashad is going to throw the ball away 4 times, which not all of them were his fault, I get that. But if that's going to happen, that team is going to not do much. But man, do they. McMillan, dog. Like, they have some tools, but so does ASU. So it's the bottom of the conference is just question marks for me. I don't think any of those teams, with the exception of Stanford, are necessarily locked into the bottom of the conference. But based on what we've seen so far, it's hard to put them much higher than that.
Yeah, Sean,
USC is still clear number 1.
Sean in the chat, Utah is undefeated. Rising hasn't played yet. I think they're easily top 3, not 5th. Sean.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me, is just that, like, I think they easily could be top 3. I just need to make sure that they are still that good when Cam Rising comes back before I give them that credit, because they've lost people. Like, their tight ends were their biggest weapons last year, and they lost all of them.
He's coming off a big injury,
and it is a big injury, right? Like, it's no guarantee that Cam Rising is necessarily going to be Cam Rising of old. I don't by any means think he's going to be like bad or anything, but it's still. Yeah, I still have too many questions about them. The other teams above them have been playing out of their minds. I've always been big on Oregon State. Washington, Oregon's offenses are just legit.
Yeah.
And then USC's USC. I will say this about USC. I do not think they're winning this conference. That defense is not good enough.
No, but you score enough points.
Yeah, you do. But you saw what happened last year when they played Oregon State. They run into a real defense. It's no guarantee that the offense is putting up 40 points every week.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sean is not going to like my rankings if he doesn't like that you have Utah at 5. Let's go ahead and pull up my power rankings. USC still atop the conference at 1. That's not changing anytime soon. Washington, though, a big jumper, moving up 3 spots. I just love what Michael Penix Jr. and that Washington team is doing. They're playing as a full unit, and I think it is really, really impressive. Michael Penix Jr. Definitely making some noise. Oregon does fall from 2 to 3. This is a team that I expected to take care of business against Texas Tech, and it just got a little ugly there down the stretch. Oregon State staying at 4. This is a team that I can't wait to see what they do against some Pac-12 opponents. Utah.
It's supposed to be 6.
Yeah.
I don't know how I messed that up twice.
I do have Colorado at 5 and Utah at 6. I just think what Colorado has done recently has been wildly impressive, and that's why I have Utah falling from. Yeah.
I don't know what happened here, because the graphic I made has Colorado above Utah, but I know, like, this isn't Leah's fault either, because I sent this, the same one got sent twice somehow. I don't know, man.
It is what it is, but yeah, I definitely have Colorado at 5, Utah at 6. Did not think I'd have Colorado at fucking 5 this early in the conference.
We gotta listen. I know that this is Colorado Hater Central.
I don't wanna.
I know that this is Colorado. No, but what I'm saying is that like, we need to pump the brakes a little bit. TCU is not TCU of last year, and also they kind of lucked their way. They didn't luck their way. They deserved it, but like they were never. Even coming into the college football playoff, they were 4. So like, hey, you didn't. Hey, rewind it because I gave Cal their fucking flowers. But I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought because I got distracted by Big Pokey. But
it is what it is.
Colorado, yeah. Nebraska's Nebraska still, dog. Like they beat a bad team,
but they handled them.
No, they did. I don't want to say that. Like I don't think Colorado was like actually the 11th best team in the conference or anything like that. But I think they are. I just think we got to pump the brakes before we start like crowning them Pac-12 champions or something like that. Not that either of us are doing that. I'm just saying.
All right, let's see what I got for the rest of my ranking. So yeah, this is what it should read: Colorado 5, Utah falling all the way to 6. Again, this is Utah played pretty sloppy against Baylor, a team that you expect them to win, regardless of who's playing quarterback. So I'm interested to see what they
I like all the Pac-12, like Big 12 matchups that we're getting.
Oh yeah, they're fun. They're super fun. Wazoo at 7, they move up from 9 to 7, up 2 spots. I like what Cam Ward's doing. They are. They're a team that is when you get to conference play, watch out because
Cam Ward can make your day miserable.
They can play spoiler, I think. UCLA up 2 spots to 8. I hate that
UCLA
they're okay.
The most kind of like
they shouldn't
irrelevant
be in the top
team.
25.
Aren't they? They're just kind of like who cares about UCLA?
They're just fucking there, and I don't like Chip Kelly.
I don't like his face.
Yeah, his face he looks like fucking Humpty Dumpty. That's what Chip Kelly looks like. Arizona at 9. I do have Arizona falling a couple spots because obviously the loss. I do have them ahead of Arizona State because they lost to a better team.
And I think that's fair at this point. I consider putting Cal above Arizona State.
I didn't because Cal still lost, and until Cal proves.
Yeah, that's the reason I didn't. And Cam Rising didn't die, but he hasn't played yet. So that is why, if you listen to when I was talking, which apparently you fucking
if you listen, Shane,
he did just land.
Okay, well.
Blame him.
I'm glad you had a safe flight. But
has Whittingham deserted the team?
I think that the top 5, I had them 5th. I think the top 5 of the conference is not interchangeable necessarily, but like they're all really good. I just need to see that Utah is still Utah when Cam Rising comes back because they have not necessarily been. They haven't been last year's Utah through these first 2 games by any means. So I just want to make sure that they're okay when he comes back, and that Cam is okay, like you mentioned.